Good morning. It's 11:30 and I'm going live this morning, and I have a wonderful guest coming up, and one of the things he has is feel alive, feel fully alive again. His name is Tony and he's my guest for this morning, and he has so many things. I heard him on somebody's live, and it was absolutely amazing. Everything he said was so really enriching. I really enjoyed it. So, hi, you're there. So good morning. Let me bring him in. Send a request. So I am really looking forward to this conversation. How are you? Did you have a good Valentine's Day weekend? I did. The children came to visit, and hello, Tony. Here you are.
Hello.
I was just chatting with Esmeralda about our weekends.
I put my headphones on. Wait a sec.
Okay. I'm still trying to learn to whistle. I heard you.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep. All good to go.
Well, that's good.
Good.
How are you doing today?
Doing fantastic. Just finished some clients in the clinic and getting ready to speak with you. You're in Toronto, is that right?
Yes. And it's not as cold as last week, but it's cold.
Yeah. I'm just down the road in Hamilton.
Oh, you're in Hamilton? Oh, well, then I have to come there. You will see me as soon as they let us through. So you're in the red zone and we're in no man's land in Toronto.
Yeah, that's right. You guys are locked down.
I know. You should see this. You know how cold it's been, so you are enjoying the same weather. Well, I was so mesmerized by you, and one of the things, it was just that it's so many of the things I know and I believe in. There you were bringing them out. I didn't have enough of you. I just thought, wow, because you don't get to hear this or to see it within distance of where you are. It's always really far, but Hamilton isn't that far. So when I heard that what you had to say about those things, I just couldn't get over it. I don't know how I fell into it, but I did. And I've always practiced a lot of that. So what I want to know is how you, since I cannot remember how I got into it, how did you get involved in this?
How did I get involved in this? Well, it happened a long time ago. My wife and I, we lost our child, and it just put me into a really deep depression, and I got really sick and had heart problems. And I just thought there has to be more to life than this. So it started me on a search to find outside the box, to look outside of just Western medicine. And the first thing I was introduced to was Reiki. And I had a friend do Reiki on me, and that was like 27 years ago. And yeah, it was really cool. I could just feel stuff moving in my body, things I'd never experienced before in my life that I didn't even know existed, that quite frankly I was really skeptical about. But when they did it on me and I felt it, you can't deny that. So that started my journey. Yeah.
Because when I went through your website, I don't like talking about people's bio, because everybody can get the bio and they know all about that. I just will look at all the different things that you say and the things that you show us on your IG lives, and you know, the quotes you had, and I just thought, and being a man, that is really, it's not common to meet a man doing this.
No?
No.
All right.
It's not
cool.
Common. So it's quite unique, and that's one of the reasons why I really appreciate you know, hearing you. But I wanted to know, like, what brought you there. It's understandable when we are at our weakest, that is when we find strength. So for you to have developed that. So where did you go from there after this? Once you started into Reiki, what pushed you further? Because you're beyond Reiki.
Hmm. I don't know. It's just every time that you open a new door, something else opens up, right? And so every time I was introduced to a new person, every time I had a new mentor, they would share with me new information that really was interesting, and I wanted to just keep exploring. So I was at the time I was in a marketing company. I ran a marketing company, and then I was a financial advisor. So it was very business, and I had a small one-page website, and so people would call me on my phone and say, "Can you come and do Reiki on me?" So after work, I'd take my table and I'd go visit them in their homes and do that. And I wanted to get more tools. So eventually, I went back to school for traditional Chinese medicine for acupuncture, and that opened up a whole new avenue of things. And then I studied. I was really fortunate. I was able to study with a beautiful man who was a medical qigong master, and I studied with him for a number of years. And I got my medical qigong master, and that was not too long before he passed away. But he shared so many amazing things with me. It's unbelievable that. So when I treat people now in my clinic, I have all these tools. I have Reiki and medical qigong and traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, cupping, acupressure, so that I feel like I can really help pretty much anyone that walks in here with something. And then the last while, I've been studying with a Taoist priest.
Oh.
And Taoism is an ancient Chinese philosophy. In fact, so when I was studying traditional Chinese medicine and medical qigong, I remember this was, maybe 3 years ago, my medical qigong master took me aside and he said, "Tony, I could see you being like a Taoist priest doing this." And I was like, I didn't know what the heck that was, right? But everything just comes for a reason. So and Taoism to me is just about calming the mind. So when I work with people, most people come here for mental, emotional stuff, anxiety, depression, feeling stuck, feeling drained, feeling so tired. And so you can work with them energetically and clear them and put in new energy. That's one thing. But then you also have to help people with the mind, coping skills, how to perceive things differently, how to look at things differently so you can have that peace of mind. So that's what I'm really excited about. All of these things have brought me to this point where now I feel I even have more tools to help people. And that's just the coolest thing in the world.
So when well, you know Toronto, so you know Chinatown, right?
Yeah.
So I have someone I go to there, and he does this, and they put the fingers to get your pulse on your hand.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been doing that for years and years and years. And also in the north of Scarborough, it's Midland and Finch. There's a whole new Chinatown area there, and I go there to see someone because it's closer now. And they do the same thing and give you the herbs and with them and all of that. And so I don't know, can't remember what got me intrigued, but I think it's part of my background as a child growing up on a plantation in Dominica. And in Dominica, we have all these special places where you go for the sulfur spring, the sulfur water, the different types of herbs and spices, deep wells, basins of cool, clear water in the middle of the forest that you go into. So I grew up with a grandmother who used a lot of herbs, and you had a headache, there's herbs, you had a toothache, there's another herb. And so I don't know if that is where it came from and brought me to this, but I have always practiced. And one of the things I didn't know anything about was qigong.
Qigong. Yeah.
Yeah, qigong. And so can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Sure. Well, Qigong, Qi means energy, Gong means work. So Qigong is basically doing energy work. And you've heard of Tai Chi.
Oh, yes.
Right? Tai Chi is gentle movements.
Yeah.
So Qigong is actually the parent of Tai Chi. So Tai Chi came out of Qigong. And Tai Chi is actually a martial art. So, the moves and stuff you're seeing are actually blocks or strikes, but very graceful. Qigong is just all sorts of different exercises designed to help you re-energize your body, to clear blockages from your body. So it's just, opening up the meridians, stretching things, and never going to the point of any tenseness. So I really credit learning Qigong with one of the things that helped, in addition to turn my health around. And I teach a lot of Reiki. So I do a lot of Reiki attunements, level 1, level 2, Reiki master. And when I teach Reiki, I teach Qigong. And I teach some acupressure points and different medical Qigong things that I wish that I had known. Although my mentors, my teachers were amazing, but I've learned some different things that I think will help people, especially how to energize themselves and how to clear themselves as opposed to just working on others. Because when you're more clear as a practitioner and when your mind is calm, then the energy can flow that much better.
Something I am going to ask, and that is, how do you feel after you have done a healing session on someone? I'm not talking about the injuring, because that might be a natural psychological and emotional process. But how do you feel? What type of satisfaction or level it brings in you? What do you feel when you do that? When you're done treating somebody, even for that time, and you can see the person who came is not the person who's living, what does it do to you?
Well, it's really, that's a great question. And, I think about that because the times when I'm truly happy, the times when you've heard of being in the zone, like an athlete who's in the zone, right?
Yes.
When I'm in the zone, it's when I'm doing a session, because in a way it's like a meditation, and that your mind totally clears, right? And the energy is just flowing and you're disconnected. And so during the session, you're in the zone, and afterwards, as you said, I've seen so many people, like, literally transform. Like it's so amazing. And I think back to how I used to feel. Like I was so depressed. I was so dead. I felt nothing for years. I felt like the Walking Dead. And so when I think what my mentors did for me, to be able to give that back to people, it's simply amazing. When people talk about finding your purpose and your passion and just living it, that's what this allows me to do. And there's really nowhere else I'd rather be, or anything else I'd rather be doing it. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed to be able to do it.
What is the practice that you use for you to be in the, like the zone or charge each day to come to go to work, to help somebody go from where they are to where they wish to be? What is your practice to get you ready to face that day?
So I've learned that it's really important that we all cultivate ourselves. Just as if you're growing plants, you cultivate them, give them the proper earth, the sunshine, the water, okay? We have to cultivate ourselves. And so I'm continuously meditating every day, doing qigong, or I'm exercising. I watch what I eat. So, for example, when COVID hit a year ago, and I had to shut down the clinic for 3 months, but my wife is a nurse, and so I knew all the frontline workers were going to be really drained and burnt out. And I thought, I have to get myself ready so that when I can reopen, I'm able to help people. So I haven't had junk food for like a year. I cut out all chocolate bars and pop 2 years ago, like things that can kind of stagnate your energy. I cleared that all out. And I work a lot on my mind and my thinking. I used to be so depressed, right? And so I know that's there. It can always pop back up. But now I know that I can calm my mind and refocus and bring myself back. So it's watching what you're eating. It's exercising. In the summer, I walk for hours, or I ride my bike. In the winter, I don't like the cold. So I bought a skipping rope, man, and I'm like skipping in my clinic now. And it's a killer. I'm like, my lungs are bursting. But these are the things I think that you have to do. If you want to help others, you got to take care of yourself, because no one else is going to take care of your health but you.
I thought you did something, because I was so mesmerized by you when you were on, I call her E, because I just call Esmeralda E.
She is such a cool lady.
Yeah, she is. And when I saw you, you mesmerized me. And that's why I wanted to know what what did you do to keep your cup half full? Because your cup cannot be full. If your cup is entirely full, there's no room for new stuff to come in. So you give every day. So that's why I was interested in finding out what you did for yourself to keep your cup half filled with something. So now I understand that you do respect the energy you have. Can somebody, I don't know how to say it, can somebody who has come to your shop, to your clinic, it's not a shop, to a clinic, when they're leaving, have they ever get to an emotional space where they actually don't know how to react or how to behave? Or maybe I should say a skeptic. Someone drags in there. Like I would have to drag my husband kicking and screaming all the time.
Well, you know, that's, of course there's going to be people who wonder, right? Like as I said, I was really skeptical at the start. But I don't really care because I know that even if they don't feel, see, some people are so disconnected from themselves that from stress, from social media, from the news, that they can't really feel anything. And so even if I'm working on it, I can feel stuff moving like crazy. They may not yet be at the point where they're ready to accept it. Sometimes people feel things and it frightens them because it's new. Sometimes people's energy is so stuck, they don't feel anything. And during a session, they feel something, but they don't know how to process that, right? And that's okay. I said, that's totally cool. You know, if you need to cry, cry. If you need to laugh. Sometimes people's bodies shake, like as their muscles, you know, let go because we store so much stuff. So, yeah, people have come in here, I'll try this, right? Because a lot of people come because Western medicine has not had any answers. You know, for years they've been trying different things. And so they say, well, I got nothing else to lose. And that's, you see, I can understand it because that's where I was. So I don't care. They can come in, I'm going to take care of them. And I know that they're going to feel something from it. And after a couple of sessions, when their body's more relaxed and their energy's more trusting, that's when things open and tears come and whoa. Yeah.
Well, you know, I have a son that is a director at Johnson & Johnson in Pennsylvania, and he's my youngest, and he's all into scientific because that's what he studied, right? And I was so surprised. I got a note from him. He said, Mom, some of that stuff you believe in is really great because I can tell you, I don't know how I would be standing here today if it wasn't for that. So that was so indicating because he would call it Mom and her mumbo jumbo. That was how he said. And now, to get that note from him was just so amazing. I couldn't reply because I didn't want to make him feel that, well, I told you so. So I just said, oh, that's nice. And I left it at that. When I looked at your site, something that got me was you have an album, or is it a video? It looks like 3 fish on there. And you said that was something you listened to. Yeah, it looked like there were 3 large, they look like a tadpole.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me about that particular thing. It intrigued me a bit. Just what you said about it intrigued me.
Well, I mean, since I've started meditating more, because for years I thought, whoa. Anyway, a phone call just came in and blew out my eardrums. I'm still not used to this, but anyway. So I never used to be able to meditate because I didn't know what I thought. I had these crazy ideas that you had to reach this perfect Zen state. And so when I've been studying with my Taoist priest and learning all this meditation, so Spotify, is an amazing app, right? It has all this music and it will give you suggestions. So now I grew up in the 80s, I was like rock music and alternative, stuff. But now I'm learning all these different meditation things. And there's this one album, and a lot of stuff I listen to has like an Indian beat to it now. It's really cool. But this one album, I don't know, I just totally connected with it. And so I said that this was the best album I find for just sitting and meditating because it has different types and different speeds, and it totally just clears my mind. And so I always find that sometimes, like, music's so powerful. I love music from all over the world. And if you find something you connect with, it can free your soul. right? So when people are having trouble meditating, they could just pick their favorite music and blast it really loud and just clear their mind with it. Or they could just go with soft meditation. So I just posted that because I wanted people, if they're interested, to check it out. Because I connected with it. I don't know if they will, but I did.
And that's what when I went through your post on Instagram, that is one theme that I saw, is that you were so free in giving, this is what I tried. And so that's the other part I was going to say. I wanted you to tell me and then to bring it out. That you said, this is what I tried and it really, really worked for me. And I like that. Not too often you get that, because somebody will talk about this great thing but don't always share it. So it was really pleasing and I really enjoyed knowing that. Then you talked about those blue stone, greenish stones. What are they? Because I collected those type of stones for years and years. I still have a selection, all of that. What are they? Those eggs.
I just have some different crystals here. So when I do a session, I often will use crystals. And there's a lot of ways that you can look at crystals, stones, rocks. From Chinese medicine, you have the 5 yin organs. So you have like the heart and the spleen and the lungs and the kidneys and the liver. And each one of those has a different color. So I often use different colors. This is for the spleen. This is for the liver, the green. I have red for the heart. And the two I was showing were these awesome two blue. Yeah, that's it. So the color of the kidneys is dark blue, black, right? And so you can strengthen the different organs with color. So I often use crystals and stones on the body to help strengthen the different organs in someone so that their whole overall body can move better, be smoother. So these are so powerful, and you can just feel the charge in them. And the kidneys are associated with fear and anxiety. And so when the kidneys are drained, that's when anxiety rears its head. So if you strengthen the kidneys, the anxiety has nowhere left to live, and people lose that anxiety. So that's where these came from.
And then you have this magnificent orange one. Tell me about it.
Oh, yeah. I just saw it in the summer, man. Here it is. Oh, this thing's a big guy.
I know. And that's about it. Yeah.
I just saw it. I don't know. I saw it. I get most of my crystals from a place called White Flame. So on Instagram, they're at White Flame or whatever. And I just saw it. And orange is my power color. I love orange. A bright orange, or just the vibrations just really get me going. And I try to wear orange, but I look like a pumpkin, so I don't. So I just have orange crystals. Yeah. So that's it.
Oh, so that color just gives you the vibration you need, or the energy you need to help you to keep at your level.
Yeah, and it's also, orange is also the color of, like, the orange yellow is the color of the spleen and the stomach, and in Chinese medicine, helping with digestion and everything. So I don't know, if you feel connected to something, man, it's calling you. Just don't doubt. Just take it.
No, I lived on the Scarborough Block, so it's right on the lake. And my brother was visiting, and we went to the lake, and I have a stone. So I had these 3 stones, and I was fooling around with them. And he said to me, "Can I have them?" For a minute, I gave them to him, and all 3 stones jumped right out of his hand. And he said to me, "Look out here, they're coming at you." And I said, "What did you do?" He said, "Nothing." And I had to reach my hand out to catch them. And he said, "I better give you all your stones," he said. So I know that once you've been playing with the rock, you do put energy into it. That I know from that experience. But when do you ever work with somebody that would say, for example, a writer who says, "I am blocked," or a creative person? When they say, like, I haven't yet ever come to the point of being blocked. I write every day, but I always have. But my energy is really high because I'm just so grateful for every ounce of life that is around me. But I know people who tell me they're blocked. What do you do with someone who comes to you? Or do you treat someone who has that type of creativity?
Oh, all the time. blockage, energy blockage is the number one cause of everything, right? Mental things, physical things. So just have to get everything moving. So I mean, I might slam it a little bit, not physically touching it, but doing some vibrations, moving some stuff, and then working with all the chakras and open them. And by the time that's all done, they feel different. They can breathe, and their mind feels clear. They'll often get some inspirations come to them during the session, like things they haven't thought about for years, because the memories will get stuck inside you energetically, and it becomes like a little darkness inside you, and then it clogs the energy. So you have to take some of those painful stuff out so it can open stuff up, and then everything flows. So that's very, very common that people feel stuck, blocked. Yeah.
And what about anger?
Anger, oh, these are great questions. Anger is so intense.
I studied you a lot.
Anger is so intense, man. So many people before COVID had a lot of anger. Now they're just drained. But anger really stagnates in the liver area, the right side of your body. And then it cuts across your body. And so people often get headaches because the energy can't descend from the head. It's stuck there. And then they have these outbursts. Or sometimes the energy of the stomach is supposed to go down, but if the energy is cutting across the body and stopping it, it goes up. So that's why they get indigestion, or they get heartburn, that kind of stuff. The key is just to release and get everything moving and let the body move, just like nature.
Do you give them tips to follow after the treatment, things that they should do?
Yeah, definitely give them some thoughts, maybe some links to some YouTube meditations. I can assign them some specific qigong exercises to help with whatever specific problems bothering them.
And that is really important. I wondered about that because I know you come across so many people with all those different things. I'm looking at my time. I don't want to keep it.
Well, I was just going to say, healing's a two-way street, right? I'll do what I can, but they got to do what they can. They're going to heal themselves. I'm just going to connect them, help stuff move. They got to put in the work.
How do you feel about the chakras? Because I know you talk about it. I purposely open my chakra in the morning on a daily basis because I am so constantly on the go. I don't know. I must tell my brain, okay, sleep time. I do sleep soundly right through the night, but I do open my chakras every day. That is something I do. I've been doing that for years. What do you teach people to do that, or you help them or get them to understand the 7 amazing points in the body?
Well, I do open their chakras and get them moving for them. And if you do enough qigong and different things, that'll automatically open those for you. So I may give them there may be one that's giving them more difficulty that I'll say, I'd like you to focus on this one or meditate on this one.
And what about the Thai massage? Do you do any of that, or do you recommend that?
No, I do cupping and stuff, but I mean, there's so many modalities. There's so many amazing alternative health modalities, and you can only do so much. Like, I don't do herbs. I do acupuncture, but I don't do herbs because herbs don't really interest me that much. And I think that if you're going to do something, you really got to know what you're doing.
Now, I have had acupuncture and cupping, and I get a Thai massage once a month. She shows up here, and I have a Swedish Machine. So I've always been someone that does those things, besides being completely looking for joy in everything that I do. But so that's what I wanted to understand, was like you chose where you wanted to go. Yep. And you stick to it. And how do you feel about having made that choice from the time you went for your Reiki treatment and the evolution to today?
Well, I'm a completely different person. I mean, I used to be really angry. I used to have outbursts and, I wasn't very happy. So I'm happy now. I don't know, I'm content. I love what I do, and I don't know that there's that many people in the world that can say that. So I think that just following your heart and enjoying what you do is a big thing. That's great.
Well, Tony, I don't want to keep you. I know you must have an appointment coming right in. And one of these days I'll be driving to Hamilton. I am a person that's really interested in alternate medicine. I've used it for as long as I can remember. So I'm really happy you took the time to spend with me today. And I learned so much. I'm still mesmerized. So it didn't quench my thirst. It just gave me a little bit of respite. But I will be checking on you again. And one of these days, you know, I'll be in Hamilton. And if you ever want to chat with somebody that like me, give me a call. I'll be happy to do a live with you anytime. But thank you.
You have wonderful energy. You have wonderful energy. Very vibrant.
Thank you. I work on it. I am up at 5, and I pray, I meditate, I dance, I watch what I eat. I don't eat and I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke. I love the very essence of being alive. I just feel so. I'm a good. I'm saying I'm a good gardener. I'm a great gardener. I love gardening. And roses are my very favorite flowers. So in the summer, from the time spring has come, you will find me in the garden. My son left exercise down here, and I'm using a ball he left somewhere around. So I can strengthen my muscles. I can carry my own bag of dirt. So I do love life. I have no complaints. I really enjoy it. I'm not saying you don't face some challenges, but I use this part of the serenity prayer, which is just the first. Grant me the serenity to accept what I cannot change. And I actually don't go any further than that, because you have to know what you can change, you can't change. So thank you that you felt my energy, because I know sometimes I can feel that it's on fire. The first time I actually felt the energy flowing through me, I was coming home and driving down the hill. So we live below sea level because we're right at the lake. And as I'm driving down, I just felt as if my head opened up, and the serum, and it was a serum of joy. It was just, and I could just feel it going all through my limbs. And I'm saying, I have to hold on to the steering wheel. I'm coming down the hill. And it made me laugh. After I said that, all I could do was laughing. And I have never really stopped since that day. I came home and I was telling my husband, he said that the Irish people believe in that. He said, you're not Irish. And that was the first time I felt that serum of joy. And I call it the serum of joy.
Wonderful.
And it still flows. But like you, I do things to keep my energy up. That's why I do. When I get the chance to go to Reiki, I get it done. Or any of these, modalities. I try to get that. So that's why you see me in your clinic one of these days. Just tell COVID, but as soon as COVID gives me my ticket to Hamilton, I'll be there. So thank you for coming. And everybody, thank you so much for joining Tony and I today. It was wonderful. And I hope we gave you something that you can use in your life. Tony spoke about the energies. And if you have crystals at home, make sure you use them. Summer is coming. I'm sure you can charge them in the sun. Next time, Tony will tell us.
And check out my YouTube channel. Just Google "Feel Fully Alive Again," because
I will subscribe to your channel.
I'm posting a bunch of meditations and different things on there.
Yeah, I saw that. I had that, but we talked about so much. I didn't want to bring that up again. But thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful day. Thanks.
Okay, peace. Bye-bye.
Bye.